Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Oh no, Gachaverse! That's what Aphmau says at the start of this video. I have no idea why. For starters, she's using Gacha Life. I'm pretty sure it's a Gachaverse to make it, and I guess it's just a sarcastic way to begin the video. I have no idea. But essentially, we're back for hopefully two Aphmau videos today. I say two. I'm going to split these up into two separate recordings, but I want to record two today before tackling 5 years later, as I'm filming this on November 23rd, and I intend to stream 5 years later on Twitch, same time, same place, typical thing. But because I don't have, therefore, a video for today, and it's the weekend, I like to have something out on the weekends, particularly, because usually during the week it's a bit, here or there, whether or not I'll actually have something. But the reason I want to do two is because the second one on this list of gacha parodies I've got to get to is The Hated Child, and that has been a bit of a thing as of recently on the channel, given that we looked into LD Shadow Lady's venture into gacha, so it only makes sense to do the same for somebody else who came in with similar parody intentions, let's say. But we're not here for that right now. We've got one to get through before that, and that is The Girl in All Boys School, which comes with a slew of disclaimers, fittingly enough. The rest of the fact that it is indeed a parody, in the title doesn't even say gacha, it just says Girl in All Boys School Parody. The description then claims again it is a parody, and Aphmau does not, stand by, well, I guess, or she mentions that it was written terribly on purpose. In fact, it says this is a parody of the story genre found in mostly found in gacha vids. It's meant to be light-hearted fun, pointing out some of the common tropes found in this genre of story, with no quotes this time. I'm a fan of these vids and want to make my own, but also want to point out some things I noticed. Hope you guys enjoy. So it seems that Aphmau was preparing for possibly some backlash with this. I'm not sure if any of the gacha videos Aphmau did ever garnered her any backlash. I don't remember seeing any from the comments at the time, but, I could have missed them. I wasn't, paying that close attention to what everyone was saying about them at the time. I was just, enjoying them myself. So I guess we'll see whether or not there's something even, worthy of backlash in here, and, just how, just how, hot those takes actually are, as far as the commentary goes. No idea. But, there's only one way to find out, and that is to begin. So, without further ado, on with the review.
Oh no, Gachaverse! Welcome to today's video, and ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, I just want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what today's video is about.
Yeah, see what I mean? She's being very cautious right now with the description and with the content in the video itself. I don't really understand why right now.
What you are about to see is a parody of a genre in Gachaverse. And I had the pleasure and basically, to TLDR this just really quick, it is a parody of a story genre in the Gachaverse. Pretty sure I already said that, but we're just...
Don't worry, you'll repeat it in the description afterwards.
Gonna keep going with it. Just want to make sure that...
Like, you see what I mean, right? It seems like she's preparing for some backlash or something. It's like, I have, this bomb to drop on, the entire concept of this story, and people are not gonna like what I have to say, but I have to say it. It feels like that almost, but also trying to pass as lighthearted. Even though I'm pretty sure it is lighthearted, but we're gonna get to that in a second.
You guys know that because what you're about to see is masterpiece, is masterpiece writing. I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun writing this. It was probably...
Okay, maybe potentially she's being like, okay, you all see me as a beacon of good writing. This is not what what you're prepared to see. This is not good. Please not take this as good. Maybe it was like that, actually. Which, honestly, is a fair thing if that was indeed the reason why she's reiterating the whole parody thing. Because yeah, people, I will say that a lot of gacha tropes that came up, not necessarily this one particularly, but some others, can kind of tie their origins to Aphmau based on the overlap from her community to the gacha one in the early days. So maybe that was why Aphmau was like, well, I don't want to shift the video types to just this. Maybe that was it.
Probably one of the most funnest works. We're gonna go with that for this. Most funnest works I've ever done. Yes, I know.
Yeah, see you go. Saying the tone right immediately with most funnest. Using some of that gacha grammar immediately.
No, that's wrong, but you know, we're just gonna go ahead for now. Anyway, don't take this too seriously. Hope you have fun and enjoy. Good luck. It's morning. Today is my first day at my new school. I can't wait to go to my new school where I have no friends and no possibility of anyone liking me.
Okay, this feels like, again, like a picture into like someone's insecurity, not necessarily saying like, oh yeah, because it's an all-boys school, therefore no one is going to like me. Because I have to imagine that being a girl in an all-boys school will probably get you bullied by a bunch of people, but also very liked by another group of people. So probably it would even out. I think this is more of a case of the character being insecure and like, haha, I have, haha, my mental health and self-esteem is down the drain. Laugh through the pain. This is the sound that joy makes. Anyway.
Back to bed.
And realizes, yeah.
Time to wake up. Get dressed. I guess that means I should get dressed.
To be fair, not exactly super different to the way that that most gacha videos started at this time, with this exact same background and the mother calling the main character from downstairs. We're on the right track so far. The difference, of course, being the sound effects and the actual walking, which I've already talked about at length in the previous two videos I talked about with Aphmau's parodies and how that inspired me, and I realized it was possible to make something like the Mutant Girl. I've already gone over that, so I won't repeat myself too much. Yeah, and this is another thing as well, you know. Which, by the way, the fact that we have actions in order to go along with this kind of negates the idea of, you know, having the directions be visible still, and that being the only use of the chat in this entire video, or like the chat bubbles, I mean. I guess he puts on. We saw that. Anyway, whatever. Get up, no room for recitation now. It's time to show the... What does recitation mean, actually? I've never heard that word before.
Whoa, almost forgot my eye patch.
Oh, no! No! You can leave without the eye patch! You don't need it!
Puts on.
Wait, did she just literally say puts on now? What? Did Jess halfway through making this video decide, the chat bubbles seem very barren. I feel like I need to read this out as well, but I won't go back and do the previous parts. No, of course not. I'll say that for the eye patch.
Today is your first day of school.
I already established that.
Wow, you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't worry. Your live-action counterpart likes to reiterate how much of a parody this is, so don't worry. We can have a little bit of repetition in this.
Sassy this morning. Just like my girl to be so sassy and strong. Strong female girl.
And the use of the word sassy twice in the same sentence. Again, really setting the bar as far as the writing goes in this one.
Mom, stop! You're embarrassing me.
In front of what?
I was literally about to say the same thing in front of... well, I was going to say in front of who rather than in front of what, because that kind of implies there's, like, cameras or something. Which... what? Are there cameras here? Anyway.
The toast? Which reminds me, breakfast is ready.
All right, my favorite, toast.
Ooh.
All right, now that you have something to keep you shut up, I wanted to tell you that...
Did she say shut up?
Today...
Okay, I know why Aphmau has so much fun writing this. This feels like a toned-down version of Midnight, as far as, like, you know how Midnight was like a parody of bad fanfics, essentially? Yeah, this feels like just a slightly more subtle version of that. Which reminds me, I don't know if I watched the one about vampires yet. I wonder if there was a reference to that somewhere.
You are going to start your first day of school...
I already established...
at an all-boys school.
Mom!
okay, I like the fact that the toast not this has been like chipped away. That was probably the earliest use of prop manipulation that I have seen, actually, because yeah, that's something that you had to do in post.
You can't go to an all-boys school.
Not to mention you had to go from having the prop inside of the character's mouth to it falling on the ground as well. Unless it was always like that to begin with, and we were just, were deceived. That's also a possibility.
I'm not a boy.
I'm sorry, we are poor and we can't afford the all-girls school.
What about normal school?
By the way, I have to reiterate, we watched a girl in all-boys school, because that was Aiden's recommendation before, which might have, I now realize that this is actually very fitting to do both these, because Aiden recommended girl in all-boys school right before the Oddie Gacha Lady video. And in that one, they also said that the girls' school was more expensive and made a pink tax joke out of that. But yeah, it just seems to be that was like a universally accepted thing in the gacha community, that all girls' schools are more expensive. Which, for the record, I have no idea if that's true or not. I've never looked into this because I quite famously despise gender divides, and therefore have not investigated into all boys or all girls schools. In fact, I if anything, I've done the exact opposite, because I remember that so we have some family friends, and they have a daughter who they were considering whether or not to send her to the UK to study English, because they're Spanish, basically. I forgot to mention that, and they live in Spain, So they were considering that, like, what schools would be, like, the recommended ones and stuff, and then one of them mentioned, like, they mentioned that a different set of family friends who were also like co-workers of my dad's back in the day, they sent their daughter to the local all-girls school. So that was a recommendation that my dad knew, and then I shut that down immediately. It was like, no, please do not send her to an all-girls school. whatever you do, for the love of everything, for the love of Irene and any of the Divine Warriors, please do not. Because, yeah, I don't know, it felt... Sorry, that was, I was about to go into a tangent about, like, how antiquated that entire, like, feeling is. I remember that, that my dad said something about, like, him going to an all-boys school at the time, and then, saying that he knew that, a lot of his friends at that age, would have been, let's say, too distracted, to focus on their studies, if otherwise, which, I feel like part of the idea of school is learning to socialize with people, with with all types of people. Like, I feel like there's like a huge emphasis on promoting diversity today. I feel like kind of like restricting 50% of the population away from you with like interactions go is kind of counterintuitive to that. Anyway, tangent over. Basically, that's why I don't look into all boys or all girls schools ever.
That doesn't exist for some reason, and even then, for plot reasons, it isn't an option, because I probably can't afford that either.
Fine.
Hold on a second. I need to rewind that line, because I feel like we missed some gold delivery in there.
Cool.
That doesn't exist for some reason.
No, further back.
School? I'm not a boy.
I'm sorry, we are poor and we can't afford the all-girls school.
What about normal school?
That doesn't exist for some reason, and even then, for plot reasons, it isn't an option, because I probably can't afford that either.
Yeah, see, first of all, the idea that an all-boys school will be the cheaper version out of all of those rather than a mixed school is another weird sign, pink tax aside. But also, yeah, that's something that they never actually address in most of the, in most of the all-boys school, or, the videos. Which, yeah, I guess they just kind of gloss over that on purpose. I like the fact that that sometimes media takes time to, whether or not they make a joke out of something, or to just address, like, okay, this is why we can't do this perfectly, like, normal method. That's also why I'm able to shut down a lot of critiques about things like Harry Potter, for example, so easily, because, a lot of people who have mostly only watched the movies, by the way, reference like things like, oh yeah, well, why didn't they do this thing or that thing? And I can say, well, that's because this thing or that other thing. It's like, they literally address it, but, the internet being the internet, they don't want to look into that in further detail. Ironic, given what I just said about all boys schools, all girls schools, not looking into those, but I feel like I made my point a little bit more about that.
Fine. I'll go to the stupid boys' school. But how can I get in? Won't they be able to tell I'm a girl?
Here, wear this. If you wear this, no one will be able to tell who you are.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Now hurry off to school.
To be honest, some of the disguises in Aphmau's mini games, where she's you know, become a boy, or in fact the Diary's side stories have looked about as convincing as that hoodie. So for Aphmau specifically, this tracks.
You don't want to be late for your first day. Don't forget your school uniform. It's on your bed.
I got it.
Wait, when did she have time to put the uniform on the bed? Because we saw the bedroom, but then we saw her like leave afterwards. In fact, why did she put on normal clothes if she was going to change into a uniform afterwards? No matter what type of uniform, that feels incredibly pointless. So then we just watch like the dress up sequence, but that part of the parody never gets addressed, being like, oh well, it was entirely useless, unless it does right now. There's another aspect, by the way, of this where they've like spliced all the gacha backgrounds together. And running through them instead of like cutting from one to the other, we actually just see her, you know, rushing past like a time-lapse sequence. That I feel like is like a unique thing to the Aphmau videos, because I've never seen anyone else do that. For reasons that it looks kind of odd, but actually, you kind of get what she was going for, so, yeah.
Here it is. Now to put on my disguise.
Not to mention as well, we have you know, the character being like appropriately sized for all of said backgrounds, and even this one where like, you know, they look super minuscule in comparison to the actual school.
Oh, perfect! Now no one will be able to tell I'm a girl.
I guess the hoodie covers up the uniform. Which, hold on a second, wait a minute! I just realized something else. Why does this uniform have a skirt? If this is a school uniform for an all-boys school, why is that even an option? I know that we addressed that in, like, the video that Aiden recommended. And again, I know that some of... There's some remnants of, like, an anime trope where, you know, where schools that used to be, like, you know, all of one gender suddenly become co-ed, and then that's why they have a separate uniform. But yeah, otherwise, that always confused me. Like, I know, we'll be able to tell. Anyway, let me just, you know, not cover up the skirt at all. Or change to trousers.
Time for class! Oh no! I haven't gotten my information yet. I better find the principal's office.
It wouldn't be an Aphmau high school series without her getting lost or having no information.
Hey, do you know where I can find the principal's office?
Right, like he was just standing there waiting for his line. That was school play levels of staging, Aaron. I hate to tell you. It's just like, okay, I'm standing here, and I'm waiting for my cue. This is my cue. I have said my cue. Now I leave the stage. Goodbye, everyone.
Wow, rude much?
I can help you find the principal's office.
Oh wow, where is it?
It took me until hearing the character to realize that this was Gene. For some reason, his hair is not what I imagined Gene's hair to be, but then again, having seen the Minecraft version of Gene, it's kind of hard to tell because all Minecraft hair has to be, like, you know, a certain way.
Follow me this way.
Owie!
That's what you get for...
The way she just went, owie! Okay, I mean, here's the commentary about the bullies. Again, I don't mention the commentary before. Most of this is not really like, I wouldn't call this like hot takes or anything. This is just essentially, I mean, it's satire in its purest form. Ultimately, I feel like if Aphmau made like a, you know, like a spoof type of thing, like gacha movie or something, a lot of this would come in. Oh my goodness! I was referencing like the not the Freeberg and Seltzer style ones because like they're horrendous, but like some of the others that came around, you know, was like, oh yeah, name of movie versus this, and like every trope under the sun. Actually, yeah, that was mostly Freeberg and Seltzer, wasn't it? Yeah, they weren't good in of themselves, and they kind of like tried to reference too many things at the same time. But my goodness, if there's any community that would have like a bunch of things like crammed in together would make no sense, it would be the gacha community. So yeah, like the idea of making gacha movie the spoof actually is somewhat viable now that I think about it. Yeah, gonna have to get Ghost Kid to write that one down or something. She's probably watching this.
Being a nerd, ya boy. Smell you later.
Being a nerd, ya boy. Why would boy be an insult in an all-boys school?
Oh man, this school isn't very nice. This is so hard. I don't know if I can do this.
I do like the fact that this is Aphmau's like fanfic crying versus the regular one, because we know that she can, like, you know, if she wanted to take this seriously, she actually absolutely could, but that would not match the tone of this. Which again was one of the reasons that that Mutant Girl became a dramedy. Actually, was because you know, the idea of like you know, like elevating the editing and prowess of Gacha itself, but only using it for comedy and nothing else, didn't sit entirely well with me. Not that I came close to this for many years, but that was the attempt, at least. That was the mentality. And now we're gonna get like a record scratch and like a hard cut to color and like a, you know, like a wider angle or something.
Hey, what are
Okay, no record scratch, but everything else I said.
you doing in the hallways, boy? This is an all-boys school, and all boys are supposed to be in school.
So, by the way, someone in the comments of this video actually did say the why was Gareth in the hallways, what was his excuse? I'm not sure if they go into that detail. Maybe Gareth is meant to be a teacher for some reason?
By which I mean, they're supposed to be in class. Why aren't you in class?
Well,
Gareth, settle down. This boy is probably new and doesn't know where
I completely forgot that Lawrence was in this.
he is in this all-boys school.
In this all-boys school, which is where we are currently. just to remind people that is indeed what is happening.
Are you lost, boy?
Yes, I am. I don't have my information yet, so I don't know where my class is.
I'll take you to the principal's office. Come on.
Which also tracks for Lawrence, because Lawrence did so as Aphmau's guide for in Phoenix Drop High a lot of the time. And I guess Gareth is following. Sure. Okay, Gareth, you don't have to go to class at all, clearly.
Hi, I'm
Oh, by the way, also I want to say, like, the footstep sound effects, they're like layered to like each other and like played like a slight delay. I do that as well. I didn't reference this video for that. Or Aphmau in general, just kind of like stumbled across that. But it's like, oh wait a minute, actually, okay, happy accident then. Anyway, different principal this time. So we don't have Principal Chad or Principal Layla. Interesting.
here for my
This reminds me of Lo from Minecraft Diaries, actually.
papers.
Oh, okay.
Let me just check something, actually. Okay, so the principal doesn't have a credit in this, which is strange. Aphmau's credited as Potato again, because of course. But, alright. Yeah, I have no idea. And by the way, there aren't too many like other voice actor credits in this, so we've met most of our, you know, main characters for this video.
Here you go, boy.
Thanks.
Just keep saying boy for this.
Oh look, you have the same class as us!
Which I only noticed after walking behind you and reading your schedule for several minutes, and that's why we're in the gym currently.
Let's go.
That wasn't weird at all.
Alright, we have a new student. What is your name?
It's
And again, another teacher who doesn't, again, there's no credit for these. Why is there no credit for any of if anyone, like, okay, we have like Sylvana, Blaze, Gareth, Lawrence, Jean, Aaron, and Aphmau in that order. None of the teachers. See, this feels like a genuine Gacha video, you know, because we have no respect for the teachers, okay? And I've said that for years. Ignore the fact that I'm teaching myself now.
boy.
Your parents seriously named you Boy?
I would have probably gone with Peter, because people kept saying Lost Boy, but, you know, sure.
Yeah, you got a problem with it?
Shut up!
I mean, I guess, you know, the name was fitting after all.
Class! Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, there we go. There's that classic Gacha teacher. Of course.
This is about important stuff. Oh,
Oh, with no chat bubble this time. Okay.
right. We have a play we are going to be doing in a few weeks. Here are the scripts for the play. Now you all practice while I'm gone.
Okay, this is actually an interesting thing, because normally we don't have a play come into effect for for these. Also, I just realized that Aphmau has actually done the same thing that Aiden would later go on to do in the days of Gacha Club, before realizing how to have characters sitting down. Aiden would like to have like everyone stand up in classes, and just never address the fact that there were no desks or chairs. Which was an interesting workaround. The only time it became a point of contention or an actual issue was when was when we saw like actual settings from like that we saw that present in the Mutant Girl, or it was like for an actual Mutant Girl video, and they were like, wait a minute, where are the chairs? Oh well.
Boy and Blaze, you guys are going to start the play, so come up here and practice.
I guess they don't have to audition for different roles. Like, the teachers already thought of who is going to be what in this? Sure.
I'll be back. I need to go and pee.
All right, let's do this. The first scene is us fighting.
All right.
Okay, rookie mistake here from a theater perspective. Never leave students alone doing stage combat. Always make sure you plan out every single move of the fight, especially if you're dealing with a school play. This was a bad form on the teacher. If he knows the script well enough, he should have been able to prepare for this. Although maybe it was just an excuse to have the hoodie get knocked off and realize that boy was in fact a girl. I don't know. Yep, there it is. And for the record, I did not remember that was going to happen. That was because I have not watched this video in like 5 years.
Oh my god! Boy has boobies!
She's a...
Wait, how? Why was that the first thing that he noticed, given like the hair just fell down? Because did the hoodie cover those up? Maybe, I guess? Also, did the hoodie just rip off entirely? I just clocked onto that, by the way. The hoodie ripped off entirely. It wasn't just like the hood like fell down. No. The hoodie is gone now. And now we have the full like sailor uniform that would not be a thing in this school. Speaking of uniforms, by the way, again, I like the fact that they have like minor elements of customization to each of them. You know, like one person has like a different like type of Blaze has a different blazer. Lawrence has his scarf. Gareth has like the regular tie, and Aaron has a different type. But his blazer unbuttoned. You know, differences. I like that. Well, it's not really a blazer, I suppose. It's more of a It's just more of a jacket, I suppose. Yeah, whatever. It's you know what I meant.
Girl.
Oh no.
But yeah, back to what to what Gareth said. Also, like the fact it's like, oh no, I've been discovered. My foolproof disguise has been thwarted.
Wow, so cute.
Oh my god.
And this is why girls would be popular in all boys schools. Another reason why I dislike all boys schools. You know, any interaction with a member of the female gender would cause this. Not like I'm not saying that like a universal thing, but it's definitely a possibility. You know what I realized actually, like old school British comedy, there were so many series that just that only had like male characters except for like a few situations, and then like always sort of like a punchline or the way they talked about like, you know, women characters when they weren't around. You know, once that's actually like present on the screen, it was a little bit of a different story in some cases, but not so much in others. Now I think about that, yeah, that kind of feels like maybe this is why we've shifted over. You know, from that perspective. Anyway.
God, I want to date her.
This is the
Oh wow, okay. Gareth, that was very creepy delivery. God, I want to date her. That feels like Brock from Pokemon Bridged. Breeding. That's what it reminds me of.
first time I'm seeing a girl.
I mean, exaggeration. I would say that, you know, people who've gone to all boys schools for the first time, we're seeing a girl for the first time like this, but it definitely would not be a frequent occurrence.
Kick turn boy into girl? Either way, hot!
If you
I mean, I do like the fact that he's like pondering the logistics of like him having magical kick powers. I imagine Blaze would try and test that immediately. It's like, well, I can turn boys into girls. Hey, Gareth, come here. I'm going to kick you for a second. No!
guys tell anyone, I will make you all pay.
And just in time, because the teacher walked in right afterwards, and okay, I guess they're not going to rehearse the scene after all. That was it. That was the... You still have a play to rehearse. Blaze, where are you going?
Alright, 20 seconds should have been enough for you guys to have practiced, right? Nothing
That wasn't even... I feel like it was more than 20... Maybe I just paused.
crazy happened while I was gone? Okay, cool. Class dismissed.
Oh, okay. I guess everyone else just doesn't get to rehearse anything to do with this play. Great.
Oh my god.
Which again, I know is part of the joke of, you know, how short the classes actually are. And I do appreciate the fact that somebody actually did go into the effort of satirizing this. Again, if Aphmau hadn't done this, I might have back in the day.
I can't believe they found out I'm a girl. It's my fault for letting the hoodie fall off.
I mean, you didn't really let it off. It kind of just... It ripped, and then you were able to put it back on as if it was intact. That's my question right now.
Hey, you!
Oh, you were that jerk that ignored me earlier.
So ignoring you makes me a jerk?
I mean, not necessarily ignoring her as much as grumbling at her and then, you know, walking off. That was really the jerky part.
Yeah, it does. It was rude.
You don't even know me.
Why are you being such a jerk?
Wow.
I don't know why you're assuming a combat stance. That feels a bit much for this.
You are a... Never mind. Look, I came to warn you. You better be careful around here now that the other boys in the class know you're a girl.
Why?
They may try to bully you.
Ha! We will see about that.
We will see about that. I will have my vengeance.
Maybe if I bully her, she'll like me. Hey!
Oh, and again, classic thing of like, oh yeah, if a guy bullies you, that means he likes you. I mean, ultimately, it's usually the, you know, if a girl is mean to you, then this usually the opposite thing was applied. But oh wait, no, I have heard it the opposite way around, because I remember there was a TikTok about this where somebody was like, oh wow, so you mean that if a man is horrible to me, that means that he actually really likes me and I should stay in a relationship with him? It was like, yeah, there's a reason some of this stuff has shifted. But again, I know this is a joke, so.
Stupid face!
Huh? Me?
If the face fits, why do you wear
Hold on, I was about to make an eye patch joke, and I think Blaze is about to say
a
something.
hood and an eye patch? That's stupid!
Your face
I mean, the hood makes sense, but the eye patch,
is
yeah.
stupid.
Leave her alone! I mean, leave him alone!
Dude, what are you doing? I'm trying a tactic that obviously isn't going to work, but serves the plot.
I won't!
I mean, good thing that you've declared that in the earshot of the person that it wouldn't work for. And the fact that, like, Aphmau is here just, like, smiling while this is all going on. Again, this is fanfic Aphmau, so she's really into the idea of, like, guys fighting for her. So I guess, like, regular Aphmau when I think about it.
Don't let you hurt her!
How?
I mean, that was a pretty calculated strike there. Like, again, the fact these are all keyframed characters means that was not an accident.
My pinky toe!
Please stop
I'm not gonna question the anatomy of this.
all the violence!
Hey, what's going on here? Why is she crying?
Can't we all just get along?
Garth
I agree, Lawrence.
stooped on my pinky toe! So I'm gonna step...
I guess you think stooped is like... Or stepping is same as kicking?
on his!
No! Jumps in front to save him from being stooped on.
Why did the microphone have to peak so much when you said that? Like, why was the... I question so many things, but I laugh all the same, which evens out, I suppose. That is not the sound effect I was expecting to hear there. In a million years.
My hoodie! Oh, wait. Oh, my no! Hi, Pat!
Yeah, wow, that was... the hoodie ripped off again. Also, oh no, the eye patch is gone. Oh, the horror. Oh no.
Oh no! I'm so sorry, Hotness!
No!
Hotness?
No! Don't look at me!
What?
She has
Yep, Garth, if you hadn't done it, I would have done the same.
ears and a tail?
I am actually a half-breed.
Which would be a huge revelation if it weren't for the fact that Blaze is also on screen right now. Well, not right now, but I mean, like, he's in the scene. Again, another reason why it was so important for me to scale down the hybrids, you know, for Mutant Girl.
To be continued?
I don't remember if it actually was continued or not. Oh, I forgot about that image. That must be one of my favorite images that Aphmau's had for these. Yeah, the winter phone case. Coming soon, 5 years ago. Don't worry, Aphmau. I have your merch right here. In fact, the other piece of merch that's keeping my feet warm on this floor, even though I still have not found a way to get the radiators to work, despite the fact that I asked about them and I left them on, I don't think that made much of a difference. If anything, I can still see my breath if I'm in this corner. Oh wait, no, I can't now. Okay, now if I breathe this way, I can't, but if I breathe that way. Maybe the radiators are on, they're just, like, exceptionally slow. Because it feels slightly warm today, but I'm still under a blanket right now. Anyway, whatever. This video. I don't think Aphmau had anything to worry about for this one. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Yes, it goes into it goes into like almost like it goes into like almost every single like format for this, apart from like the play, which feels like a little bit different, and maybe the hybrid thing as well, because you know, just has like an extra garnish on top. But you know, the satire isn't subtle here, and I feel like you know, Aphmau knew her audience's humor well enough to know that they weren't you know, that they wouldn't take it seriously if they were presented with this without the disclaimer part, I think. Because yeah, like the gacha community even back then, you know, especially back then, actually, they were more willing to laugh at themselves too. Yes, there were the people who, you know, made the tropes unironically and didn't know how to do much in the way of anything else, or didn't realize, you know, what they were doing was so tropey or whatever. They probably do now. It's been like 5 or 6 years, so I wonder what people were. I can't wait to get people like looking back at their old videos, apart from like MimiXD, who's already done this, but a couple of people, like other people, you know, the more tropey gachas back there, to look back at their old videos and be like, wow, what the heck was I thinking? That would be like a huge way to make a comeback in the gacha community if someone's like, you know, stepped away or whatever. But yeah, there were those people back in the day, but there were also the people who were, you know, making fun of like the hashtag gacha logic, and people who coined hashtag gacha logic in the first place. And yeah, that was another whole, you know, repeated genre of like, you know, things that I find dumb in gacha videos, and they were mostly the same things. Ironically enough, the recycled trope became pointing out the recycled tropes, and no one, I don't know if they noticed that back in the day or not. But yeah, I mean, even when the realms of the parody, I question some of the decisions behind this, of being like, you know, of having to reiterate those the stage directions or something. But maybe again, given the way that escalated from, you know, silence to spoken to peaking the microphone, I wonder if that was a case of like a rule of threes, which if people don't know in comedy is where, you know, a joke repeats in threes, and that's where like there's like the payoff as being, you know, the ultimate funny. It's like the magic number there, because 3, it's a magic number, you know, that kind of thing. Don't know. I got one more video of these to do, and then it's time to look at some Phoenix Drop days. You know, the part where the part where Aphmau was trying and succeeded, dare I say? Because yes, people are watching this before tuning into the stream on Twitch, which, if I time this correctly, might be going on at the same time as people watch this. So, you know, if you're watching this live, then or as it premieres, I mean, I guess check out another Jacob Butter on Twitch if you haven't seen that already, and that's where I'll be live. I might come in and like just post a link if I remember the duration of this, which is about 40 minutes. So yeah, I guess we'll go with that. Not too much else to say about this. You know, definitely a fun ride, a look into the community past, and a pretty decent piece of satire, if at all a little bit questionable. Which aren't they all, really? So yeah, time to get on to the next video. And before I do that, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters. And subscribe if you've done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.